So my background in a nutshell, I've been atheist my whole life for over 30 years until a little bit over a year ago when I started investigating Christianity. And one of the most convincing arguments about Christianity was not really an argument. It was not a typical thing that people would try to use to convince you to believe in Christianity. And it was this. So I went to Reddit, or I don't know, I just Googled stories of atheists converting to Christianity or whatever. And for however I did it, I stumbled upon this Reddit thread titled "Strong Atheists Who Have Converted to Christianity, What Caused You to Do So?" And one of the comments really struck me, and it's this Reddit user called Hillfolk6. He said, "The atheists I was around were miserable people, and the Christians I knew weren't. It wasn't hard to tell who had the right answer after several years." So to me, that rang true. So a lot of atheists, I felt like, I don't mean to insult anyone, but from my experience, they were just kind of going through life like the wind, right? Just blowing through life like a leaf. And they would just chase the things that mainstream culture taught us to chase. There was the life script: get good grades, go to college, go to a nice university, get a nice degree in a nice industry, go out and get a nice job, work up the ladder, date someone, eventually get married, go on vacations, save up, get a house, have kids, and have more vacations, and help your kids go through life and retire, and then go on vacations and dive into your hobbies and all that. And all that it's not bad. It's a good thing. But a lot of it's just kind of chasing things and chasing dopamine or chasing accomplishments and trying to keep up with the Joneses a little bit. Not everyone, but that just seemed like kind of like the atheist mindset. And I felt like looking around and it's just like, man, the people who chase a lot are kind of miserable. They're just, I know people chasing money, chasing promotions. I know people who are just trying to impress other people by how much money they make or how many women they sleep with or whatever. And I was like, this doesn't seem right. I don't know how else to judge it, but doesn't seem right. And then I saw Christians in my life, and I saw how at peace they were and how humble they were. Where, I've had people in my life just try to very gently say, "Hey, come to church with me, blah, 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 do this. Would you like to learn more about this?" Just very they just felt enlightened. And me, I just felt like a freaking, I don't know what the word is, a mongrel or like a savage, something like that. I was kind of like, I wasn't rude to them, but I'll be like, nah, not for me. Reject it. Not for me. You can go to your church and do church things and God. I wasn't brought up in a Christian home, so I guess you were. You like God. Your parents were Christians. So you do your thing. I don't really care about it. So, and I felt, that's kind of how I felt. It's kind of arrogant, but at the same time, I was like, man, these people they do seem kind of peaceful. These seem like kind of like just genuinely peaceful dudes. And online, I met some people, or really I started conversing with a stranger on Threads. She's this great I don't know what you would call her. She's active on social media. She has a community online. Um, her handle is Joyful and Rising, and it feels weird saying this, but she's not a public figure or anything like that. I don't think I would consider her famous, but she does have a following, and she talks a lot about faith and family and just the way that she gently answered my questions and stuff like that. I was like, man, this woman, I'm not gonna get too deep into it, but she's been through a lot of tragedy in her life, like very deep tragedy, right? Like I'm talking about, losing a child, type of tragedy and dealing with terminal sickness and stuff like that. So this is as heavy as it gets, and she seemed to have a very peaceful attitude about it, and just kind of have this deep wisdom in her and this inner strength. And I was like, wow, that's something there. If Christianity is giving her this kind of strength, then that seems that there's something there. And I know my brother is a devout Catholic. He's been religious for, I think, probably over 14, 15 years now. And he was an atheist. And through whatever events in his life, I know the story, but the events in his life led him to going through RCIA or OCIA now, and converting to Catholicism, and hearing his story and his life taking a whole like 180 degree in his mindset. Because I grew up with my brother. We separated a bit when he went to college and moved to another state, but I grew up with my brother, and I understood kind of this reckless young buck behavior that he had, and now he's like totally different. He's peaceful and disciplined and generous and kind. Not that he wasn't before, but like now these traits are so pronounced. And I'm like, wow, Christianity really can transform people. And that's not to say transformation means that the religion is true. That's just evidence for it, right? Like, I mean, people transform all the time. They might attribute it to a self-help book or a cartoon they watched or whatever. Like people transform all the time. But I'm saying that this is a general trend. Obviously, not all atheists are miserable. And obviously, not all Christians are super peaceful and enlightened or whatever. There are atheists out there who don't believe in God, but they probably have peaceful lives and very joyful and generous lives, and maybe they feed the hungry every day and they love it. And there are self-proclaimed Christians out there who might not really follow Christ, who might not really have that good fruit that you're supposed to have, right? You can never know anyone's heart. You can't judge anyone, but something I always think about is like, Lil Wayne. Lil Wayne, he has always said in his songs, at least, or whatever, in interviews, that he's a Christian. But, I mean, look at his music. I mean, how can you be promoting murder and sex with multiple women and like threesomes, and he's rapping about shooting people and stuff like that? I know it's entertainment or whatever, but at the same time, it's like, So yeah, it's not a total solid rule, right? But to me, that was one of the big things that convinced me. One of them, there were many factors. Everyone's story is different. But for me, there was a bunch of little data points here and there, like stuff like that. Like, man, there's something about this religion that's causing good things to happen to people. And then I guess like other points that are leading me to this conclusion of mine that Christianity is true. It's not just blind faith. There's evidence, archaeological evidence. There's this gut feeling. Yeah, gut feeling, feelings are not facts. Yeah, I know, but it's all part of it, right? It all comes together, and then having me decide, like, is this true or not? And just thinking that something is true doesn't automatically make you devout, right? Like, I think Christianity is true, but it's hard to obey, hard to be obedient. And thank God that I have a good handle on a lot of the virtues out there. For example, I have vices. I'm in some ways I'm greedy, right? In some ways I'm lustful, and in some ways I'm fearful and selfish. But there are other things that um, I don't, you know, get caught up in. Like, I don't know, like, people are drug addicts, gambling addicts, and people are addicted to everything. And that, not trying to brag or anything, because that could be me. I don't have, I don't know how much control I have over that. Some people might be addicted to porn, right? I'm not addicted to porn, thank God, but that doesn't mean I'm better than anyone else. I have my own vile traits and terrible weaknesses that I don't even want to admit to anyone. That I think we all do. I'm sure you're struggling with some stuff that you're thinking that, man, this is not good, and I know it's not good, but I can't really say it to anyone else, right? That makes me sound like I'm a secret serial killer or anything like that. But, like, no, I'm just a typical person, going through certain things. I mean, look at my YouTube channel. I posted like 100 AI videos that I found on LinkedIn to try to get views on YouTube. Probably not a good thing to do. But I have to try to reflect and be better. That's why I'm trying to make more videos. Me, myself, and I. These videos are myself. Anyway, all my videos are really long, so shrugs. I don't script any of this because I'm just here trying to talk to the camera. I don't have time to script everything. I guess I do have time, but this is as a one-man show here, this is how I choose to spend my time. I don't have a team or anything like that, obviously. So it's not like I'm gonna script and write an episode, then record it, and then spend a ton of time editing it and stuff like that. It's like, yeah, I don't have a job right now. I'm unemployed, but that doesn't mean I have unlimited time. It's kind of crazy how sometimes I think, like, oh, if you're unemployed, it means you have unlimited time. I fall into that trap too, but you don't. I mean, what time is it now? It is 10:30 right now, so I can't be recording much longer. I gotta eat and do dishes and all that stuff. I'm gonna end the video.